Hello, fellas and ladies. I didn't forget about you. Bob Marley One Love reviewing time. In this movie, the legendary Jamaican reggae singer attempts a peace concert when him and his wife are attacked by assassins. So he leaves Jamaica and then he, makes exodus. Now, I'm a big Bob Marley guy. I do like the guy. I always loved his music and his own message and shit. His impact is undeniable, and genuinely, he has a powerful story worth telling. Anyway, I'm just going to quickly read the IMDb description of this movie. The story of how reggae icon Bob Marley overcame adversity and the journey behind his revolutionary music. So, you can kind of piece together what the movie is from there. The movie begins, intriguingly. The movie's not just gonna go down, the path of Bohemian Rhapsody and Elvis, as it, introduces the political strife in Jamaica in this time in history and Bob Marley's place in it. It does have an actual plot line that is interesting. The way in which the film sets it up and how they give us information is a little weak in the beginning, but hey, I'll take what I can get. And I'm not kidding when I say I remember the moment when I went, oh, this is Bohemian Rhapsody. It's almost like as soon as he leaves Jamaica that the movie takes a turn for the worst. The rest of the movie sees Marley go through the motions of the musical biopic tropes to a walk-hard degree. Well, it's not literally his life story. The movie seems to abandon the intriguing aspects of his life because they're more focused on his making of the Exodus album instead of the One Love Peace concert. The One Love Peace concert aspect is there's nothing. It's 5 minutes of the movie. I would say call it Bob Marley Exodus, but that's the only title more eye-roll inducing than Bob Marley One Love. And it's what you think it is. The record labels are too scared. Is Bob got to stick to what he believes in? Uh-oh, he has disease now. Is his love of music going to overcome that? I didn't get a good enough idea of who Bob Marley really was. Basing this in a period where his beliefs would be tested the most, and yet by the end of the movie, I didn't get an idea of who he was. We get glimpses of who he was, as a husband, as a friend, as a father, but it's all very substandard and rushed. Basically says what his beliefs are in the most mundane way. By the end of the movie, what's your takeaway supposed to be? That Bob Marley likes peace? I mean, I guess I can relate to that. I'm a pretty big fan of peace. Every now and then, I go outside, there's a political strife happening in my yard. I'm like, hey, bruh, come on, break it up. I can't say the movie was a total disaster. The movie's competently made and well shot to an extent. I think its cinematography for the flashback sequences are pretty rough, but in the brief period in Jamaica, the movie actually looks really good. I also quite like the costume work in this movie. Shauna Lynch was pretty great, despite her role just being the wife. Well, Lashana actually is able to overcome that. Kingsley Ben-Adir's performance is easily the film's best aspect. I really like Kingsley Ben-Adir as an actor, especially after his performance as Malcolm X in One Night in Miami. And very similarly to that performance, as Bob Marley, he was actually able to give a performance that, it could have been an Oscar-baity impression, but instead he goes for something that felt egoless. I can't say he embodied Bob Marley, but he was much more interested in, the humanity of Marley instead. If Kingsley said he didn't care if he got an Oscar nomination or not, I would believe him. The singing moments, there were some moments that looked lip-syncy, namely during concerts, but otherwise I couldn't really tell if it was actually Kingsley singing or not. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, but he was convincing enough. That said, Kingsley can't save this movie from the cliches it's trapped under. It's stylistically empty. The movie is too unfocused to fully embrace what it wants to say about Bob Marley. Other than a few outbursts, Marley's image is very sanitized, and we're not challenged in our perception of him at all. I do believe the intentions of this movie were pure, but something was clearly lost in translation. And I'm going to give Bob Marley One Love 3 Bob Marleys out of 10. I'll keep awards talk brief. In all likelihood, it's getting nothing. Shauna Lynch will not get nominated anywhere. The only real prospect I'm willing to consider is Kingsley Ben-Adir. Competition ends up being really weak. I can buy him sneaking in. However, the reviews for this movie are bad. Obviously, you're watching this before it comes out, so I don't know how it'll do at the box office. My guess is it'll have a good opening weekend, followed by a trashy second one. And that won't bode well for Kingsley. On top of that, while Kingsley is being praised, it's not to the extent that, Rami Malek and Austin Butler were, where, even the negative reviews praised them. Kingsley's getting raved, but they're pretty muted, all things considered. So keep him in the back pocket just by nature of what that performance is, but my guess is best case scenario, Globe nom, and that's it. Alright, that's Bob Marley One Love. Like, subscribe, share, and I'm gonna go off and, stop war from happening with the power of my singing voice.